I have watched countless games, and in more than 50% of the games, I have noticed support players don't even know the importance of wards. They don't place the initial ward, and they just walk into the lane with the ward in their inventory. If you're one of those players who doesn't know what to do with the wards, don't worry. In this video, I will explain where the supports from Tundra are warding and what's the objective behind those wards. The first two wards are used for mid lane and bounty rune information. It can be placed on any one of the four bounty runes. The bounty rune ward helps you play around that area and take the rune without feeding first blood. It also helps you take first blood before going into the lane, which is a huge advantage. So please place the ward around any bounty rune and play in that area. You get to have 3 observer wards in the second set. The second set of wards are used for power rune information and mid laners rotation to side lanes or supports rotation to mid. This bottom ward will cover the rotations of support and mid laner. This top ward gives information of power rune and the rotations. It should be placed before the 6-minute power rune. Around 5 minutes 30 seconds on the clock would be a nice timer to have this ward. With these wards placed on the map, if you're good at looking at the minimap and remembering the information of enemy heroes, there is only one way the enemy team can gank you, which is by using teleport, which you can easily avoid by not diving the towers. Starting from 12 minutes onwards, any ward you're going to place should be around an objective. The objective could be Roshan, taking the enemy's tower, defending your tower, taking the enemy's tormentor, securing power rune, taking control of the map by placing vision and playing around that area. It's night time right now, which means Roshan is top, and Radiant team has Ursa. That's why Tundra is playing on top lane so that Ursa doesn't get the Aegis. The objective they're playing for is not giving Ursa free Aegis and farming the enemy's Tormentor, which will spawn in some minutes. That is why they have placed this top ward. After killing Ursa, they move onto the mid tier 1 tower, and for that, a ward has been placed behind the tier 1. Just remember this basic rule. Anytime you want to play for a tower, go and ward behind that tower. Warding behind the tower gives you information on how many enemy heroes are coming to defend it, and based on that information, you can decide whether you want to take the fight or back off. Most players don't even check the lane wards, so 95% of the time, your wards will never be dewarded, and you will be providing so much impact by giving information to your team. When you're playing from behind, meaning you have lost your lanes and you don't even have heroes to play aggressively because enemy heroes scale better than yours, at that point in the game, start placing defensive wards. Defensive wards are placed on your own side of the map. They give you information to dodge the enemy team. This ward will provide information for the power rune as well as the enemy team if they're playing in Dire's jungle. Every hero has its own power spike and you need to understand this. In some games, you will have strong early game heroes, and you will be able to place aggressive wards for objectives and close out the map for the enemy. But there will be games where the enemy team will have a better snowballing lineup than yours. In that case, just place defensive wards. Instead of taking random fights and feeding, just dodge the enemy, wait for your cores to get their items, and play on your own timing. For example, if we look at this game, Centaur can play aggressively with Stampede, Void Spirit has spells to jump on enemy heroes, Bane is a strong support that has a good magical damage and spells to set up kills, and Grimstroke works really well with melee cores that like to jump in. On the other hand, Lifestealer without his items cannot do much in the early game. Offlane Venge also needs Scepter to play aggressively, and Storm also needs power runes to do something which Radiant will not let him take easily. In such games, you just need to delay the game and not feed, which you can achieve by placing defensive wards and dodging the enemy. Reading minimap helps you with your vision a lot. The enemy team is taking the top tower, which means their next objective will be the mid tier 2 tower. So placing a ward around the mid tier 2 tower will help you see the enemy team when they're coming for their next objective. Avoid placing wards on cliffs. They are very expected and always get dewarded instantly. Instead, place wards on the ground and wait for the enemy to show up. The enemy team will not be ready to take the fight if you jump on them first. Even when you're behind in net worth, if you can start a fight and outnumber the enemy team in a team fight, you're going to win. When you're playing Radiant, there are different spots you can ward for bounty runes. You can place ward either on the Dire's jungle bounty rune next to the Watcher. The triangle cliff can also be warded, or you can simply place the ward next to the bottom bounty rune. The idea is to get vision of the enemy if they come to get the bounty. The idea of where and when to ward on Radiant is same as Dire. The second set of wards are used for power rune information and enemies rotation from mid to side lane or side lane to mid. This mid ward covers the top power rune and it's placed before the 6-minute mark, which is very important. This bottom ward covers the rotations. One more thing that you can notice is how 6 heroes are standing mid to secure power rune. This is how important power runes are when you have caught heroes with bottle in your team or enemy team. Towers are usually taken in this order. First of all, you take offlane's tier 1 because offlaners generally have strong teamfight spells that allow you to gather in one lane and take tower. Make sure you have got a ward placed behind the tower so you have all the information you need before taking the fight if enemy team comes to fight. You can place these aggressive wards in smoke so you don't get caught in enemy's vision. After the offlane's tower, you can get the access to enemy's jungle. You can place vision in this jungle, which makes it easier to connect to mid tower. You should always ward the enemy's triangle if they have got a hero that farms the ancients. Almost every carry hero likes to farm ancients like Ursa with Battle Fury, Sven, Templar Assassin, etc. In this game, it's the Underlord who can farm ancient stacks easily. There are different spots that you can place wards at, like next to this watcher, or you can place ward close to this tree. They will serve the same purpose. But I like this ward a lot because even if the enemy puts a sentry to check the cliff ward, this ward will not get dewarded as it's out of the sentry's range and it's just outside the ancient camp, which means it's not blocking the camp, so there is no way the enemy will ever know this place is warded. Just like they smoke to ward behind top tier 1 to take the top tower, they have smoke to ward behind mid tier 1 as well to take the mid tower. All you need to know is what's the next objective you want your team to play for and just place a ward around that area. When you're playing around your vision, you can punish the enemies easily as they come one by one under your vision. If you have no idea what to do with your wards, just remember this one thing: stay around with your team so you don't end up feeding while trying to ward off the enemy's jungle. Place vision around the objective, and avoid warding the cliffs if you're not playing around them. Every ward that Tundra has placed so far has been a lane ward, which gives them vision of the tower and the area behind it, which makes it easy for them to decide whether to commit to the tower or dodge the enemy. Tekis dies in his own jungle, which gives Radiant information that Dire has vision in this area. Now the mistake that most players make is that they straight up walk into the enemy not respecting that enemy has vision there, and they will have advantage if we go there and take a fight, because they are already camping in that area. How do we take back control of that area? Smoke with your team and wrap around that area. Never smoke and walk into enemy's vision straight up because you will just get team wiped and lose the game from there if you take a fight in enemy's vision. So Tundra smoked and placed their own vision. They are still not playing in triangle yet because enemy team is waiting for them with the vision placed. Instead of walking into enemy's vision, Tundra is playing around their vision and waiting for enemy to make a mistake. Radiant plays their own ward in triangle, but still they are not playing in that area because they have not dewarded the enemy's vision, so that area is not safe for Radiant to play. Now when you look at Dire, check their wards. Mid lane ward, top lane ward behind tier 2, and then a ward in triangle cliff which they are playing around. So it's not just Tundra, but every pro team likes to ward behind towers in the lane, and these wards provide so much value. This entire thing shows how important it is to play under your vision and not walk into enemy's vision. These are the basics that you can follow to get an idea of where you can place your vision on the map. If you want to know more about warding spots, I have made a complete video on it where I talk about every ward you can place for each objective. I have linked the video, you can check it out if you are interested. If you're looking to improve your game understanding in any role, I offer private coaching sessions that can help you improve your skills and become a good player, just as they have for my previous students. Limited slots have been opened for July. If you're interested, you can join my Discord linked in description. If you have got any Dota related questions, feel free to post them on Discord server and I'll try my best to help you out. If you have got any feedback, you can let me know in comments. Have a nice day and good luck with your games.